Hola, bienvenidos al podcast de Español 4, un repaso de los verbos ser y estar. Welcome, I'm Señora Stanius, and in this podcast we will be reviewing the different ways we need to use ser and estar in Spanish when we're trying to express that to be in English. We need to remember that although ser and estar can both mean to be, they have very specific uses and cannot be substituted for one another. Make sure you have your grammar sheet out with you to take notes and to fill in the information. Also, be sure and jot down any questions or confusion you might have as I go through this podcast. Here's a couple of examples of how we would use them. You can see he's answering the phone. Revista Facetas es paraguayo. En estos momentos está en el baño. You can see in the one part, the phone is for him. And on the other side, on the right, he is in the bathroom at the moment. Ser, here we go. We want to use ser for nationality or place of origin. With some examples, mis padres son argentinos, pero yo soy de Florida. Our profession or occupation, el señor López es periodista. Whenever we discuss the characteristics of animals, people, and things, el clima de Miami es caluroso. When we are going to make some generalizations talking about ideas, those things, las relaciones personales son complejas. Possession. La guitarra es del tío Guillermo. What a material is made of, so that's composition. El suéter es de pura lana. Time, date, and season, always will use ser. So son las 12 de la mañana, hoy es jueves, es el 30 de agosto, etc. And finally, the where or when an event takes place. This isn't talking necessarily location, so notice the difference. La fiesta es en el apartamento de Carlos. Es el sábado a las 9 de la noche. Getting back to time. Estar obviously is used in different situations, and here they are with examples. Location and or spatial relationships. La clínica está en la próxima calle. Our health conditions. Hoy estoy enfermo. ¿Cómo estás tú? Any physical states and or conditions. Todas las ventanas están limpias. So those physical states don't have to always refer to people. Emotional states. Marisa está contenta con Javier. Certain weather expressions, such as está nublado o está despejado hoy en Toronto. Those ongoing actions or that progressive tense. Paula está escribiendo invitaciones para su boda. And finally, the results of actions are when we're using past participles. So la tienda está cerrada. We also have to look at how we use ser and estar differently with adjectives because they can obviously both be used. Ser is used with adjectives to describe inherent, expected qualities, whereas estar is used to describe temporary or variable qualities or to express that there has been a change in an appearance or condition. ¿Cómo son tus padres? Oh, ¿cómo estás, Miguel? La casa es muy pequeña. Están tan enojados. With most descriptive adjectives, we can once again use either ser or estar. Again, in doing so, the meaning of each statement changes. So Julio es alto versus, ay, qué alta estás, Adriana. Dolores es alegre. Uf, el jefe está alegre hoy. ¿Qué le pasa? And finally, Juan Carlos es un hombre guapo versus Manuel, estás tan guapo. And hopefully you can see that how those changes in meaning between that perhaps inherent characteristic or norm versus those changes. Some adjectives also will have two completely different meanings depending upon whether you use ser or estar. And here's a list of some of them. You also have a list of some on your packet. La clase de contabilidad es aburrida. Ay, estoy aburrida con la clase. Ese chico es listo. Estoy listo para todo. No soy rico, pero vivo bien. El pan está tan rico. La actriz es mala. La actriz está mala. El coche es seguro. Juan no está seguro de la noticia. Los aguacates son verdes. Esta banana está verde. Juan es muy vivo. ¿Todavía está vivo el autor? Pedro es un hombre libre. Ay, esta noche no estoy libre. Lo siento. And finally, please notice that muerto, we need to use estar and not ser. So Becker, el autor de las rimas, está muerto. That's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. There is no Google Docs for this particular podcast. Gracias y hasta mañana.